And let's do this. All right. Welcome, guys. So, first for our VIP training, I wanted to do a quick house cleaning. So, this week is the summer slim down. For all of my VIP clients, to be honest, this is just a way to give new clients who have never done the faster way a taste of it for 5 days. Okay, so some of you may have done it in the past and you're aware of it. But the Summer Slim Down is a great way to just let people get access to the app for 5 days before committing for the 6 weeks. However, HQ offers amazing bonus trainings. The training on Monday was about meal prep, and I haven't watched it yet myself, but among a lot of the top coaches, everyone said it was good and it's worth watching. So if you're like me and you don't watch a lot of these VIP trainings, watch Mondays. It got really good feedback. I hear they are really stepping up these trainings for the Summer Slim Down because they want people to join a 6-week round. So definitely check them out if you haven't yet. Number 2, there was announced a July challenge. We just finished a challenge, right? My advice to you is if you want it, if you're excited about it, join. If it's too much, ignore it. My summer motto is maintenance. I am not looking to do any cuts in the summer. When I talk to my clients, honestly, who have seen success and they're like, I'm pretty frustrated, I haven't lost any weight. I'm like, listen, my summer goal for my clients is to maintain the progress that they've made. If you're able to maintain the progress that you've made, that is a victory, that is success. Real quick, if you're to eat about 1,800 calories Sunday through Thursday, which is hitting my macros for me, but then Friday and Saturday are like 3,500 calories, you're going to average out about 2,300 calories a day, and that is maintenance mode. So you're not going to gain and you're not going to lose. So if you want to be a weekend warrior and go all out, that's okay, but just don't expect to see a lot of change. What you can do is to maintain the lean muscle mass that you've built up until now to keep your metabolism up. We're going to talk about that tonight. So if you want to drink and eat what you want, I get it. I'm in the same boat, but your expectations should be realistic. And if you are eating that type of clean and healthy, and those are 2 words I don't like to use, but nutritious and, balanced, and then not, that's okay. That's summer. If you're in New England, that's our season of life. We like to play hard, in everything that we do. Just have the right expectations and the right mindset. Always low carb on Monday and Tuesday, drink plenty of water, get in that HIIT cardio. If the Faster Way Monday workout isn't doing it for you out during the summer, feel free to spice things up. If you've got a Peloton, you could do a bike boot camp. I did a Peloton on Monday, and then today I went for a run. So this is supposed to be sustainable. Do what works for you, but don't skip your strength workouts, because those are what are going to maintain the muscle that you've built over the months that you've been in VIP. And then making sure that you're eating enough protein is going to maintain that. All right. That being said, let's get into what I wanted to talk about. The main thing we're here is to talk about metabolism. It's tricky and it's complicated. Sometimes it's hard to pinpoint what's internally. Okay, Connor, I need that on. Connor, can you please turn that back on? Sorry, guys. I warned you. Connor, you need to turn it all the way on. So hold on 1 second. Connor, if you do that again, I'm not going to be happy. Sorry, who has boys? Anyway, back to the metabolism. When you eat, I think most of you know this, it's your metabolism that's responsible for converting that food into energy. The energy is then distributed towards different body functions such as breathing, circulating blood, digesting food, growing and repairing cells, managing hormone levels, and regulating body temperature. As you guys can see, obviously, your metabolism is necessary for many things outside of helping you lose unwanted pounds. It plays a huge role in keeping you alive by sending energy to all of these processes, bodily functions I just named. Still letting people in. So there's many things we cannot control, as you guys know, when it comes to our metabolism. Your metabolism is dependent on many variables, including your age, your diet, your biological sex, physical activity, and health conditions. It isn't just an eat this and do this exercise kind of answer. With that, there are certain things we can do, right? Which makes the act of doing them all that much more important. If you want a healthy and active metabolism, focus on controlling the things that you can. So let's go into number one. All right, the first topic we're going to discuss is whether or not food can affect your metabolism. The answer is sort of. The food you eat can certainly impact your overall health, but there's no magic food that instantly flips a switch when it comes to your metabolism. The closest food, actually, it's a micronutrient that can help your metabolism be ignited, is protein. You guys knew that, though. Protein, is the most important macro here in the faster way. Protein has the highest TEF, thermic effect of food, than any other macro. In short, it takes the body more energy to digest and process protein. And eating protein forces your metabolism to work harder because of this. So if you're skipping your protein, you're doing your metabolism a disservice. The second thing you can control, people are still popping in. The second thing you can control is your time spent exercising, and more specifically, building muscle. I just mentioned this when we were talking about summer and what you can do. According to the Mayo Clinic, muscle mass is the main factor in basal metabolic rate. Okay. You guys should all know that. Muscle is highly metabolically active. This means it requires more calories than fat requires to be maintained. In short, the more muscle you have, the more fat you'll burn during your workouts. Even better, your body and metabolism will work harder in the 24 to 48 hours following a workout to repair the muscles that have been recently stressed. Your metabolism is always at work, even while you're at rest, because remember, it's still doing things, digesting food, to name one. But if you're consistently strength training, your metabolism goes the extra mile by putting in overtime. So if you want a more active and efficient metabolism, pick up heavy weights and build some muscle. I pretty much said that in the beginning of this call too. Tommy, can you just keep it down, sweetheart? Thank you. All right. This brings me to my next point. While muscle mass plays a huge role when it comes to your metabolism, it's also important to note you can't just do, listen again, you can't just do 30 to 45-minute workouts every day and sit on your booty the rest of the day. Okay. Planned workouts only account for 5 to 10% of your energy expenditure. That percentage sounds small, but remember, muscle mass also increases your metabolic rate while you're at rest, so don't forego the strength training. But with that, most of the energy you burn happens throughout the rest of your daily movement activity. If you want a better metabolism, you must move more. And this is called NEAT activity, which you guys know. NEAT consists of everything you do outside of your planned workout. Be intentional with your daily movement. Take the stairs, park further away, walk the dog, be intentional, and think about different ways to move your body in order to burn more energy, aka fat, during the day. Okay, next. This one is my favorite. And the reason why is because it is the most underrated, in my opinion, and it's sleep. Okay, this is a tough one because generally speaking, people today are sleeping way too little or way too much. If you're a parent, most of us are not sleeping too much. But, technology and a fast-paced world have gotten in the way of our sleep-wake cycles. And unfortunately, our metabolism is suffering because of it. This is so true. Okay, sleep affects your thyroid and its hormones. And guess what? Your thyroid is responsible for hormones that boost your metabolic rate. Okay. Poor sleep eventually leads to a poor metabolism. This is why I tell you in our 24-hour fast, if you are not sleeping 7.5 to 8 hours, please do not do the 24-hour fast. Okay. It's also important to know that sleep affects our hunger, our satiety hormones, leptin and ghrelin, as well as our stress hormone, cortisol. All of these in combination play a major role in your ability to burn fat. If you guys were part of my midlife mayhem round, you know all of these things, okay? Cortisol signals to your body to hold on to fat. Ghrelin and leptin let you know when you're hungry and when you're full, and when you're not getting enough sleep. These are affected, causes the hormonal imbalance, and your body does not burn fat for fuel. It holds on to it. Okay. And it also messes with how much you eat. Last but not certainly least, we must talk about extreme dieting, my friends. I talk about this topic from time to time because I was this person. I was definitely guilty of doing extreme diets. I know what it does to your body and your metabolism because I was there. For a long time, I didn't know it either, though, and I'm pretty honest and upfront about that. Now we know better. Extreme calorie deficits negatively impact our ability to burn fat. Okay. Now, how does this happen? It totally slows down your metabolism. Sorry, just letting one more person in. When you take dieting to extremes and go into a deep caloric deficit for too long, your metabolism sees red flags. Okay. Not enough food means not enough energy. Your metabolism slows down and conserves energy for its necessary bodily functions, causing you to stop losing weight eventually. But here's where the real problem comes in. You can't live in a calorie deficit forever. So naturally, you begin eating more again. And guess what? Your metabolism is damaged. You begin eating more, but now your metabolism can't keep up, hence the phrase slow metabolism. If you're ever tempted to extreme diet, yes, Al? If you're ever tempted to do an extreme diet again, just remember it isn't attainable, which means you can't live that way for long. And after you come out of the deficit, your metabolism won't be able to keep up, causing you to gain the weight back and probably more. There is an awesome study on The Biggest Loser. If you haven't read it, definitely give it a go. It is really long, but it's worth it. But as you guys can see, there are a lot of things that you can control when it comes to your metabolic health. Unfortunately, you can't change how tall you are. You cannot change your age. I'm going to avoid the last one if you know where I'm going with that. But that's why I encourage you guys to take control where you can. Listen to your body, learn about your body. The only way to learn more about your body is to keep going. Okay. I want you guys to stay engaged here, though. I'm here to help you with your metabolism. So let's quickly recap what we talked about. This is late. You guys don't want to stay here forever. Number one, to boost your metabolism to its potential, we're going to eat more whole foods, especially protein. It has the highest TEF and takes the most energy to digest. Number two, strength training for muscle and doing some HIIT. We strategically only do 60 total minutes a week of HIIT in our program. That is intentional. Okay. Three, move your body throughout the day to increase your NEAT. You all already knew that. Focus on quality and quantity of your sleep. This is the most underrated point here in the faster way in anything. And if you are a newly postpartum mom, I'm sorry. This is one of the reasons why sometimes it feels impossible to lose weight when you're nursing because your sleep just stinks. Sorry. And lastly, just say no to extreme dieting. These are just of the few ways, and I think you guys probably knew a lot of these. If you didn't, I would love to know in the chat feature which one you didn't know. But this week we have some great workouts coming up as part of the Summer Slim Down. We also have some amazing trainings that are going to piggyback off of these points. But I guess I just really want to dial down because all of my one-on-ones are, I'm not tracking macros and people want me to give them a boost. And I had one client phone call and I just loved it. And she goes, are you just going to tell me to put on my big girl pants, suck it up and track? And I said, you know what? Yeah, but there are other ways to do it. And I just gave you a lot of ways to boost your metabolism without tracking macros. Everything I just said had nothing to do with tracking other than make sure that you're eating whole foods and eating your protein goals. So you don't necessarily have to be on your app tracking, but as long as you have an idea that every meal has about 20 to 30 or 40 grams of protein, you're going to get pretty close. Hopefully not 20 for all of them, but like a snack, 20 grams of protein is okay. And so just focus on these things. But if you do have a serious goal and you do want to get there, then do track macros. They are the most powerful tool that we have in the faster way. It is not forever, but it will help you get there. And so if you do need me to just tell you to put on your big girl pants and you can do it, every Thursday or Friday, plan out your family's meals. You can even use ChatGPT, okay? Plan out your meals. If you run out of groceries come Friday, do a plan like HelloFresh. Have them deliver food to your house. This week, I'm doing a giveaway with Tough Cookies, which is like a meal planning service here in Boston. They're great. They are delicious. They are single serving. I should have had one tonight instead of having the leftovers from the pasta that Nick made, but I couldn't let food go to waste. I know it's a low carb day, but I ran. So, it is what it is. But that's the other thing. I don't want you guys to look at food and be like, oh, I can't have that. There is no can't in this. If you don't want to have it, that's one thing. But I didn't look at leftover pasta in my fridge and be like, oh, I can't have that. It's a Tuesday. I'm going to make it work for me. I don't want you to be a slave to this program. This is supposed to be sustainable. None of us here want to be throwing out food, right? Nick made a delicious, there were peppers, there were onions. We actually used Beyond Beef. We're not vegans, but we did. And it was with Rao sauce. And then he had some good, like, organic pasta. And so I'm not going to bed being like, I failed tonight. I had pasta. No, I'm going to bed tonight being like, Nick is going to be proud of me that I didn't throw out leftovers. And it was delicious. And I didn't have to cook. And so I want you guys, Katie gave me the 2 thumbs up. And Elle ate it too. My biggest thing for all of you guys is to come away with a positive relationship with food and exercise. It really is. But I also want you to feel confident about how you feel in your clothes, in your bathing suit. And so the faster way really empowered me with sustainable tools. And that's what I like to teach my VIP clients. But all of us are going to get to a point where we're like, I don't want to track macros. And I feel that because that was me and I don't anymore, but I'm at a maintenance phase. If you still have a journey to go, or I could do this, a journey to go, tracking is the most powerful tool. Okay. Do not think otherwise, but you can get to your goals without tracking. And like I said in the beginning, if you missed it, summer to me is all about maintenance. Okay. I am not expecting a lot of my clients to go in and be like, I'm going to say no to the ice cream. I'm going to say no to all of the alcoholic beverages. I would love for you to see progress this summer, but be realistic. Do your strength training, drink your water, eat your protein, do all the things that I talked about in this video. All right, let's open it up the last 10 minutes to questions. So I know some of you have been signing up for the 15-minute, 20-minute one-on-ones. If you haven't signed up for one and you just have one question, now's your time to ask. So raise your hand or unmute yourself, whatever. No one? You guys are just as bad as my new clients. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll say something, Sarah. Just
Yay.
Thank you, just because summer, like, randomly people are at my house right now, like hanging out out back. So summer, that's like what summer's for. And it's just really nice to be part of a program that understands that and is like, it is what it is. And look, I have salmon, so it's all good. But thank you for just being cool about it and being realistic too with kids. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Courtney said, this was really helpful. Definitely hit my question on the weekend and keeping to the plan during the week. That's also a big thing, is just like the weekends. Like even my new clients are really struggling with the weekends. And I think that if you want to see progress, if maintenance is not your goal, if you want to see progress, you have to treat the weekends like a weekday. And it means that you are that person that's not drinking alcohol. But like most of us have kids here, not all of us, but many of us have kids. We've all gone 9 months without drinking. It's a couple of months. You're going to have more summers. So am I drinking this summer? I am. I like quit for a couple months for my anxiety, but I'm back on, unfortunately. I don't really mean unfortunately. I'm just joking. But I think that if you have this goal, if you have a wedding, I know I have some ladies in here who are getting married in the fall. Treat the weekends like a weekday. Pack your grain bowls for the beach. measure out your protein for the beach, and just try to stick with it. Alcohol does inhibit your inhibitions. No, that's not right. But you guys know what I mean. And so once you start drinking, you're gonna be like, what's another brownie? What's another cookie? And that will happen each weekend. And then you're hungover, and then you make a bad decision the next morning. So alcohol, honestly, if you want to see progress, limit the alcohol this summer. I guess that would be my thing. Lauren said, so if you feel like you went a little overboard on a meal or two over the weekend, low carb days sometimes feel odd to eat more fats, but I do it. So great question. It's more, honestly, it's like I feel like people tend to get bloated from a lot of the carbs that they consume over the weekend. And so by going low carb, people tend to feel like they lean out because your body relies on carbs for energy. So if you deplete your body's carbs, you're then going to start to lose water weight, and you're just going to feel leaner. Like, you're not going to gain weight having one bad weekend. You're just not. It's 3,500 calories extra that you would need to consume to gain a pound of fat. That's just not going to happen. But I don't want your fats being bad fats. I want your fats being like avocado. I want your fats being like olive oil. I understand what mind games this program sometimes plays with people. So just trust the science, I suppose. Do I recommend LMNT or Allied Daily? I'm getting used to it. It helps me so much after having some drinks. I haven't used those. I did buy hangover pills. I forget what they're called, but I don't not recommend them. I just don't know them very well. Someone asked, do I have a drink suggestion that I could substitute for alcohol? So I actually just had one. I love Spindrifts. I love Spindrifts. I got these droppers and like adaptogenic powders from this place called apothecary.co. And they are like stress relief powders, and I'll put them in my frother and I'll have it as like a cup of tea before I go to bed, and it helps me sleep. It helps me de-stress and unwind. I've really been liking those. I wrote about them in one of my newsletters if you got that, but it's apothecary with a K.co. And they have like, different ones. But then I also I love a Spindrift. Like, to me, a Spindrift is almost as good as a glass of white wine. I know that sounds weird, but it's awkwardly satiating to me. And then I do like non-alcoholic beer, but don't love the gluten. And kombucha I love as well. Casey said, can you adjust a recipe from program in the food log? Unfortunately, no. If I swap one thing in and out another, yes. So unfortunately, you cannot adjust recipes from the program. This is a huge gripe from the coaches, and we are hoping that they make this change, but unfortunately they cannot. Katie also shared her non-alcoholic, is it AHA waters? I don't know. Feel like I'm drinking a seltzer. Nicole said, can I talk more about the vitamins I posted in my stories? I think they are mega foods. Yeah. So I would get them, but I feel awkward getting up right now because I'd be gone for like a good solid 45 seconds. But I've been taking the mega foods, and I take the 40 plus. And I told Nick to go get some, and he was like, I can't believe how expensive those are. And I was like, yeah, but honestly, I do feel like they've made a difference for me. So full disclosure, I was nursing or pregnant for like 8 years up until March. And I just now finally feel like my hormones are somewhat like leveling out until I get PMS. But I like these vitamins because they have a lot of they come from whole food sources. The vitamins and minerals come from whole food sources. And then it also has things like ashwagandha, which I just wrote a whole blog post on. I don't know if I published it yet, but things like that to me, I'm not like into like the voodoo nutrition stuff, but I do think there are benefits in some of these like herbs that are part of Western medicine. Or it's Eastern medicine, right? But we're Western medicine. Eastern medicine, like ashwagandha and holy basil. And there's a lot of other stuff in there that I think are important for your hormones, for balancing your hormones, stabilizing mood if you dealt with anxiety like I have recently. It also has iron in it, and I am iron deficient. So I feel like they've been giving me more energy. I haven't needed that like 3 p.m. like Coffee. Again, I'm 39. I finished breastfeeding 3 months ago, and I have three nutty children who are still awake, and it's 9 o'clock. So I need all the help I can get. I've also been taking fish oil pill, which I think helps reduce brain fog. Nick had a bad piece of fish, and he will not let me make salmon anymore. So we really have not been eating a lot of fish in the house. So I've been doing fish oil pills. And then also I do on occasion probiotics if we have a trip coming up and I do not want to get sick. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? And again, to just reiterate, I've never been a big vitamin person until this age. And now I'm like, I need them. Like I wake up and I'm like, I haven't had my vitamins with ashwagandha yet. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't. All right, awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I am going on vacation the first full week of July. It is Nick's 40th birthday. I'll be in the Cape with my family, and then we are going to London. If you're following my passport drama, and I didn't even have to renew it because apparently London doesn't care if it expires in a couple months, but whatever. But I do have someone that's working with me now to get through your questions. So if you do have one, I will do my best to respond. And if you missed my note at the beginning, you do not have to participate in the July challenge. You do not. You have my blessing to skip it, to ignore the noise, to do 2 low carb days and do 5 regular macro days. Just ignore the noise and just do your workouts and stick with real food nutrition. If there's ever at one point the faster way has too much going on, just ignore it and drown it out. The workouts are bomb, stick with them. The meal guides have great inspirational recipes. If you want the added motivation of the challenges, do them. But if they're too much and they are not fitting for your current state of life and it's just too much for you, you have my blessing to not participate. It's a free t-shirt. If you want it, do it. If you don't, I'll send you the link at the end of the challenge to get that free t-shirt if you don't want to do it. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. I love seeing how many of you joined me. And if you do have questions, just text me. All right. Bye, guys.